Good morning. Mike Woodworth here. Just for those of you that don't know me, go by Mike, go by Woody. My favorite hobby in the world is being out in the woods, taking pictures of wildlife and nature and that kind of stuff. I like to do the bushcraft thing, make your own stuff and just enjoy the outdoors. Right now, I'm making this video because a buddy of mine told me I should share some of that stuff with folks. The other things in this world that I love are Jesus Christ, good God above, and my family. So, I'm thinking of putting together a series of videos that talks a little bit about bushcraft, a little bit about survival, a lot about the outdoors, and God. Okay? So, if you're not interested in the good Lord above, if you don't want to hear His word in His scripture, probably don't want to subscribe. However, if you're interested in that kind of thing and you want to see the glory and beauty that is God and His great creation, you're probably in the right place. Right now, I was going to touch base with you about something real simple. It's a concept that not too many people pay attention to. But I want to talk about camp cleanliness. Here's the thing. I live in Alaska, Kenai Peninsula, and this is bear country up here. We got some of the biggest brown bears, grizzly bears, and black bears in the world. And they will show up in your camp quite often. Heck, I've seen them walking across streets. Now, there's a lot of things you can do to avoid being attacked by a bear. One of them is make sure you're making enough noise when you're in the woods that you don't surprise them. Another one is making sure that you don't keep food, things like meats and stuff like that, right close to your camp. Now, I'm out here in the middle of no place, and last night I packed in a couple of steaks and some other stuff. Here's what I do, though. I keep everything in a Ziploc, scent lock freezer bag. Okay? Then you drop it down inside of a good cooler with a good seal on it. That helps make it more difficult for them to smell. If they don't smell it, they're probably not going to show up on purpose. Now here's the next issue, though. You got to keep that stuff out of your camp. If you put it right next to where you're sleeping or you put it inside of your tent, there's a strong likelihood they're going to show up. Okay, me, I don't sleep in a tent. What you're looking at here is above me, there's a 10-foot by 10-foot tarp. Cheapy, little $5 model. Nothing big, don't need anything much. Behind me here is my hammock. Love this thing. My wife crafted this hammock for me out of ripstop nylon. It's about 6-7 years old now. Most comfortable sleep you'll ever have in your life, I promise. Especially, keep it right next to the fire. There's about maybe 3-4 feet tops between my fire and my hammock. Keep that fire burning all night long. Nice warm air flows up under the hammock. You sleep like a baby. It's great. Anyway, back to bear country. So, keep your food a minimum of 50 to 75 feet away from where you're camping, from where you're sleeping. Okay? Number 2, once you're cooking your meats, now, I'm kind of old school. I put my steak on a stick and roast it over the fire. But if you're going to use a pan or anything like that, and if you're the guy that's going to use a plate, I just carry a pie tin as kind of a combination pan and plate. As you can see, this thing's been through heck. But $3 pie tin lasts you forever. Lightweight, easy to work with. Anyway, what I do is once I've cooked my meat on my stick, I use my plate so I can cut it up and all that kind of stuff, right? Well, when you're done, you got that meat juice and stuff in that plate. You want to clean it. So here's what I do. I take the inside of the pie plate, the part that you eat off of. I bring it to the fire, okay? put the pie plate onto the fire like so. All right. Now what happens here is while that pie pan, any juices that are in it are going to burn off into the fire. Now if you can keep yourself a good smoky fire using kind of green woods and things like that, that'll serve a few purposes. Purpose number one is it will mask the scent of what you're cooking. That's absolutely crucial to keeping critters away from your camp. Good smoky fire, as you can see, keeps the critters away. Second, it also keeps mosquitoes away. Mosquitoes hate smoke, especially sage, spruce. They just can't stand it. So it keeps the bugs away. It's a wonderful thing. Now, put your fire directly under your tarp like I got here. Make sure your tarp's high enough that you don't catch it on fire. All right? Smoke will billow up, wind around the tarp, pour out all four sides, diffuses the smoke, keeps you from getting smoked out, especially if you put a good pitch on your tarp like I did there. About a 45-degree angle on each side. Anyway, keeps the rain off, diffuses the smoke, sends it out, keeps the bugs off, keeps the critters away. Okay? Make sure you make some noise around camp. If you're dead silent all the time, well, you may attract some bears. They may come wandering through your camp. You don't want that to happen, trust me. There's been a lot of guys dead. Professional guides have died because bears have come through their camp spots. It's a horrible thing. Bears are a beautiful animal, and I love them. I've got a lot of photos of them. But you got to know how to act around them. Okay, so anyway, you put your pan or your plate on the fire, face down into the fire. You burn everything off of it. You grab a piece of steel wool, you scrub it out, you do it again. All right? When you're done doing that, what's happened is now you've sterilized your pan or your plate. You've cleaned it off. There's no juices left on it, which means there's no smell to attract anything. Okay? You can set the pan down on the ground. Bugs are not going to climb all over it because they ain't interested in anything in it. Simple enough? All right. Cleanliness is next to godliness, so they say. All right. A little bit of a push there. Anyway, my name is Mike Woodworth. I'm at Stormy Lake, Alaska right now. Kenai Peninsula. Back in the woods. Living good. So that's it. That's my rant. That's my push about camp cleanliness. Keep your food away. Bottom line, smoky fire, got to keep one. Okay? Keep it burning all night. Number 2, keep your pans clean. Number 3, keep your food away from where you sleep. And number 4, make some noise, folks. There you go. Now, in the event that none of those things work, keep a 12-gauge shotgun around, or a real big can of bear spray. Maybe both. I'm kind of partial to the 12-gauge myself. Alright. What else can I tell you? Oh, I know what I can tell you. Here's the deal. Last 2 days it's been raining out here. Check this out. Got my canoe sitting up on its side here. Okay. Kind of pitched at an angle. Did that so that I could have a dry spot to be able to store things under. Also, so it directionally blocks wind from coming into my fire. And the canoe is kind of like a backdrop to the fire, which sends the heat closer to my hammock, right? Keeps me warmer that way. Give you a quick overview of what's around me here from under my tarp in the rain. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and rant and rave forever and talk forever. This is the first video. Maybe I'll post it, maybe I won't. But if I do, I'd like to give a big thanks to Steve Sarton, Martin Robles, and Dave Canterbury. 3 people that have been a pretty big influence in my life, whether they know it or not. Anyway, God bless you. And keep on keeping on. Peace.